On December 27, 1892, Livingstone and Biddle College, now known as Johnson C. Smith University, played in Salisbury, North Carolina, with Biddle winning 5-0. Over time, HBCU football has evolved. HBCU football's popularity continues to rise. Millions attend games each year and millions more watch on television. The HBCU bands provide some of the top entertainment in the country. Over that time, some of the best players to ever play in the National Football League played at HBCUs. Every Monday through Friday on the HBCU Football Daily Podcast, national radio and television host Donal Ware takes a look at what's happening in HBCU football and talks with coaches, players, administrators, and media about the season. Make sure you join the conversation on social media now. Here's your host, Donal Ware.
You've got it locked to the HBCU Football Daily Podcast for today, Monday, August the 21st. I'm Donal Ware. Hope you had an absolutely wonderful weekend. 5 days away from the start of the HBCU football season. You know, this week we want to talk with some of the best players, not only in HBCU football, but all of the country. So we're going to get things started today. First up is a young man, defensive end for Benedict. And if you have had to have been under a rock to not know this young man. He's a senior from Naples, Florida. He's Loobert Denelus. Let me run some numbers. Can I run some numbers by you guys? 51 tackles on last year, 38 of those solo. And remember, this is a defensive end. 21 tackles for loss, 14 sacks on the season. By the way, he knows what the football is. 4 fumble recoveries on the season. Loobert Denelus of Benedict joins us here on the program. Loobert, what's going on?
Doing great. How are you? Pleased to be here.
Absolutely. Glad to have you. How's camp? Camp's going to this point?
Camp's been going great so far. Getting adjusted to the heat, but other than that, I think camp's been going great. Getting adjusted to the heat.
Yeah, well, it's always hot. It would not always, but it can get hot there in Columbia, South Carolina. No doubt about that. Your season last year, I mentioned the numbers. They were absolutely phenomenal. You dominated. Your thoughts on your season, first of all, individually?
I think it was a great season. I dedicate that to the work that God has done through me. I think the season that I had was a great testament to the coaches and the system that they've instilled here at Benedict. It's a testament to the players that they brought in, the players that I'm playing around with. They helped me play at my best, and I helped them play at their best. So it's kind of like a well-oiled machine. A lot of those things just kind of came from doing my job. So yeah.
Yeah, let's look at the 2021 numbers. Good numbers, right? 41 tackles, 9 of those tackles for loss, 2.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and a fumble recovery. But that's a big jump from 2021 to 2022. So, speak to your offseason going into the 2022 season and what you did to enable you to have such a great jump.
One of the main things was that Coach Berry kind of brought a couple of players back on campus a couple of weeks early. So we kind of had like a summer lifting program. I think that had a huge part. Other than that, I think my off-season routine was kind of the same. I think it was just a testament to the accumulation of the past off-season that's kind of come to fruition right now.
No doubt. The season as a whole, okay, we talked about last year individually how you played, dominating. Your thoughts on the season as a whole, where you guys finished 11-1 and as HBCU Division II national champs.
The season was great. We were definitely able to make some memories. Definitely a couple of firsts. It was definitely fun to be able to bring that kind of attention to Columbia because the people who are here, the staff, the fans, they're great supporters. So it's definitely a great thing to kind of see a smile on their face and see kind of the new thing that we're doing here at Benedict College.
Loobert Denelus, of course, and he is a senior. He's from Naples, Florida, defensive end for Benedict as he joins us here on the program. Chennis Berry, speak to him and what, sort of he's meant to you.
Coach Chennis Berry has been a great role model ever since the first time I talked to him on the phone. He's done nothing but motivate us and try to push us to be better men. both on and off the field. He's a great motivator, like I said. He believes in God, so he's a great person to look up to. He cares about each and every one of us, so it makes it a lot easier to kind of go hard for him on the field when we know how much he cares about us off the field.
Do you expect to? I mean, I'm sure you faced quite a few double teams last year. I mean, how much do you think you were double teamed all of last year?
Can't really tell you that. My job is just to hunt. When I see the ball, I gotta go get it. I don't really spend too much time worried about who's in front of me. I just gotta do my best to get to the ball.
Well, you expect to see more this year. I mean, that said, I'm sure you expect to see quite a few more this year.
Yes, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, but I think, like I said, I have 10 other hunters out there with me. So if I am double team, I think I trust in my other 10 guys who are on the field out there with me to make the plays that need to be made.
I mean, were you in a zone in the Miles game, 4.5 tackles for loss, 3 sacks, in that football game, in one football game? I mean, a lot of guys don't even get that in a season. Were you in a zone in that game?
Yes, sir. I think it was just fun at that point. I think I was able to make a lot of plays when I was just out there having fun, and I knew my assignment, so that kind of helped me to play fast and play loose. So I wasn't really slowed down by any mental obstacles or anything like that. So it was just fun to go out there and hunt.
Loobert Denelus, again, a senior from Naples, Florida, defensive end for the Benedict Tigers, joins us here on the program. How did you ultimately end up at Benedict?
Our defensive coordinator, Coach Jordan Daffer, he was the linebackers coach when I was at Southeastern. So once he was able to leave and there was a couple coaching changes, I decided it was time for me to make a change. And then I heard about what he was doing here at Benedict. I just want to be a part of it.
Oh, so you were at Southeastern, and how were you? How were things there at Southeastern?
It was great. I had a great 2 years there. I think Southeastern had a great place in my life. It helped me build my foundation and my faith. It was just my first college experience. It was great.
Any thoughts on? I mean, because Naples is quite a bit of ways from Columbia, South Carolina. Any thoughts? Once you, in terms of prior to coming to Benedict, maybe going a little bit closer to home?
Yes, sir. I mean, it was a little bit tough. I've never really been away from home like that unless it was for a football game. But I definitely, I prayed. It was a decision that I prayed on, talked about it with my parents and the people who were around me, and they supported my decision. And then, once I got here, I got all the confirmations that I needed that this was the right choice.
So when you're not on the football field, what are some of the things you're doing? What are you enjoying? Those kind of things.
When I'm not on the football field, I try to do my best to give God 10% of my day, whenever that is. And then I do my best to stay in my books because I know my parents, that's what puts a smile on their face. So I try to do what I have to do in the classroom. And then other than that, spending time around the guys and just having fun, and then working on my craft, whether that's watching film, working out on the football field, stuff like that.
How often is your family able? Do they come to all the games? How often are they able to come and kind of see you play?
They come to about 1 game a year. It's kind of hard for them since they live far away, but they do their best to come to 1 game a year. Usually it's the first game of the season, but this year it's most likely going to be senior night.
Yeah, how excited are you and your teammates? I think it's a really big deal when you have a game against Fort Valley State that's going to be on the ESPN family of networks. That game on Thursday night is usually, from an HBCU perspective, is reserved for either a SWAC. It's a SWAC game, a MEAC game. If it's not one of those games, then it's a lower tier FBS games. That's on you, but you guys have now been moved to ESPN2 for that Thursday night game. How big a deal is that for you and your teammates?
It's a huge deal. I think it's a great testament to the supporters of HBCU and how they've been able to bring our talents and the people we have in our institutions to a national level. And we're just excited to be able to go out there and represent.
What are you majoring in, and what do you hope to do when your football playing career is over?
I am a major in psychology, minor in sports management. Once I'm done with football, I really just want to be able to use the experience that I've gained from football and the knowledge that I've gained from psychology to just really help elevate the next generation, whether if that's through coaching or being a sports psychologist, however that is. I just want to be able to pass on a lot of knowledge that I know and help elevate the next generation.
Very well said. I think it was maybe the Saturday after Thanksgiving, something like that was the last football game you played. You guys opened at home on Saturday, September 2nd against Shaw. How much are you and your teammates chomping at the bit to for that game, or are you kind of enjoying the process leading up to that game?
Yes, sir. Like you said, last time we was on a football field, we didn't like the way that it ended. So we definitely feel like there's more things that we have to go out there and improve. So far, until this first game, we're just gonna work on fall in love with the process. And we just do our best to go 1-0 up until September 2nd comes.
Loobert Denelus, again, a senior from Naples, Florida, his third season with the Benedict Tigers. He's a defensive end. He joins us here on the program, put up some absolutely spectacular numbers on last year, looking to do the same. But as you heard, and more importantly, it's about also what the other 10 of his teammates do on that side of the football, as well as the Tigers open the season, as I mentioned, Saturday, September 2nd at home against Shaw. Loobert, great to catch up with you. Good luck to you and the Tigers this season.
Appreciate you. Appreciate this opportunity.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the HBCU Football Daily Podcast. You can also listen to the podcast at BOXTOROW.com, iHeartMedia, or wherever you get your podcasts. Don't forget to get your HBCU football fix on BOXTOROW with Donal Ware each weekend on the radio station near you, and on SiriusXM on HBCU, Channel 142, and on ESPNU Radio on SiriusXM, Channel 84. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at BOXTOROW for the latest in HBCU football, and don't forget to tell a friend.